Hello everyone, and welcome to Minecraft Snapshot 18W16A. Now in this snapshot, we're starting out in a little bit of a different place. We're starting out in the main menu screen for Minecraft, and the reason behind that is because the first change that you're going to notice if you try to generate a new world in this snapshot is that if you go to single player here, and then you create a new world, let's just say creative, and then we'll rename it potato, because why not? And then if we go to more world options, everything looks normal, but if you go to world type and keep clicking on it until you see buffet, this is the new world generation type. So all that buffet means is basically your entire world is gonna generate as one biome. So you're not going to have any other biomes other than the one that you choose here in the customize option here. So as you can see, if you scroll up and down here, you can see all the different biomes that there are. And what's really cool is that you can even customize the end. So like if you click up here, you can change it to the end. So I mean, I don't know what these two options mean. I'm not sure if that means you spawn in the end or what. So I guess we can experiment with that. Let's say like I want to do overworld, and then I want it to only be, let's say I only want it to be in a mushroom island. So I can go to that and then select done, and then just basically generate the world, and it should load in as only a mushroom island, and that should be the only thing that generates. Maybe there, yeah, there we go, it worked. So as you can see, the only biome that we have here now is the mushroom island, and of course there's these little pools, but these naturally generate in mushroom islands. So if we basically just go off into any direction, you'll notice that you'll never see any other biome like whatsoever. And if we press F3 here, you'll also see that again it's just mushroom island non-stop. You don't see anything else. And I mean, I guess that's why it's called buffet, because this way you don't see any other biomes. It's basically an all-you-can-eat of one biome, I guess. I guess that's kind of the idea of that. Now, something I want to experiment with is what happens when you decide to go to the Nether, or if you decide to go to the end, like whether anything different happens. I mean, I'm not sure, but I guess it's something that I would like to experiment with. So we'll start off with the good old Nether Portal. Let's just build this thing real quick. So if we start that up and then go into it, I'm not sure if anything different will generate, but we'll see here in a second. Okay, and it doesn't seem like anything's different. Of course, you got the Nether biome, so it doesn't like glitch out and say mushroom biome, so it doesn't look all weird. Everything for the most part looks normal here, so I don't think the Nether's changed at all when it comes to this. Okay, so now it's time to see what happens when you do. Was it just me, or did that sound like Mary Had a Little Lamb? It's not rendering in. Would you like to load, please? Okay, I'm stuck underground. That's neat. And everything looks completely normal here. Okay, so I'm going to delete that world because I want to try experimenting a little bit here, because I think I might have figured out how exactly it works, because I'm doing this on the spot. So I believe that the overworld here, basically you get to choose what that generates like, and I want to see what happens when I choose it to generate like the Nether. And then if I switch to the end, oh, maybe not. I was thinking that maybe they were separate. I don't know. Let's see what happens when we choose the end and then Nether. I just want to see what happens with that, I guess. Oh, whoa. Oh. Whoa. Okay, wait. Oh, this is actually really, really cool, I think. So does it generate? No, this is weird. Okay, so the biome is Nether, which I guess that makes sense. I chose that as the biome. But like when it comes to the generation type, I guess it chose end, and now it's like end islands. Let's go back to overworld and see what happens there. Okay, so now I'm doing the same thing, but now it's overworld and Nether. I want to see what happens there. Oh, I see. So now, rather than it being a bunch of islands, it has water and stuff. Okay, I think I understand. This is really, really interesting, and it does say on the changelog that they are going to be adding some more options and some more customization to this, this whole world generating thing soon, which is hopefully going to be really interesting. It also says on the changelog here, as a side bonus, we also threw in another way to generate chunks in there. So I don't fully know what that means. I could look at the screen here in a second again. I guess it's possible that that's what this means. I'm not exactly sure. This is like a part of the game that I don't fully understand, so that's something that I'm sure one of the other YouTubers that cover these snapshots are going to be able to explain a lot better than I would. Pretty cool. So like, I guess the end, rather than generating water and oceans and stuff like that, or anything like that, it's more like, it's kind of like sky islands in a way. So I guess that's how that's kind of like. So like, let's say I generate a huge forest and then use the end type generation. It should hopefully generate a bunch of end islands, but with the forest biome type, like biome, maybe. Okay, so oh wait, never mind. Okay, I had to sit there for a good minute, but oh dear. Okay, it just spawned me down here. We're fine, I think. Oh, this is actually really, really cool. Okay, something that's really, really awesome about this is the fact that this looks a lot like the that sky biome from the mod. Oh, the Aether mod. Or however you pronounce it. This reminds me of that a lot. Now, it does seem like it's a little glitchy, because I think this is supposed to be a mine shaft, but this is really, really cool, because this would be an amazing world to do, like, a survival series on. So, like, I could just imagine doing something like this on a survival world. So, I assume that the nether biome generation type is supposed to be netherrack rather than stone, but I'm honestly not sure. That's something that we'll have to see if the devs change in the future. But this is really, really cool, because this is going to add a lot of experimentation, and considering they're going to be adding more to that that screen, that generation screen, we're hopefully going to have a lot more customization and a lot more ability to modify how our survival worlds look, or creative worlds, or whatever you're doing, without having to do all these mods that either some people just can't handle on their computer, or aren't optimized well, or whatever. So I mean, it's already a really interesting idea. I can't wait to see what the devs add on to it into the future. Okay, so now we're back on a more regularly generated world, and the first thing that I actually noticed here, which is something that I missed in last week's snapshot because I couldn't seem to find any other ocean biomes, was the fact that there's, like, you can actually see the transition between, like, regular ocean and, like, warm ocean here. Like, you can see over there it's darker, and then it kind of fades into a lighter, like a lighter color. So what I wanted to show you guys in this world was there's a few changes outside of the whole world generation thing. So one update is that coral fans can now generate naturally. So those are the little things that can generate on the side of corals. So like this is right here as an example. If I place this down here, you can place it on the side of the block. So yeah, those will actually naturally generate on the side of generated coral things. Another thing that's been added is drowned can now spawn in underwater ruins, and as you can see over here, there's one that actually naturally spawned right here. And they still sound really creepy. So yeah, this is interesting. So that's something that you're gonna have to be aware of if you end up deciding to search a underwater ruin. If you see one, nothing good in there. The turtle helmet will no longer give you particle effects. So like what used to happen is if you put on the turtle shell, what would happen is you would get water breathing for 10 seconds as long as you were above air, and then once you go underwater, you would start losing it, and then you would have to get air again in order to get water breathing back. And the thing that's changed is that it used to give you particles, but now the particles won't show, it won't like get in your face, and it won't be all annoying and weird and stuff like that. So blue ice is now less slippery, so you'll notice that if you end up walking on it here, let me get out some more regular ice. If I run on ice here and then I stop, it does take me quite a bit to slow down and actually go to a halt. So if I sprint on this ice and then I stop, it's not much of a difference, but it's probably, if you watch it back a couple times, you'll probably notice that it's a little bit you slow down a little bit faster on blue ice. So I will say something about this update that's a little weird is that like flowing water is a little like kind of broken. Like it should be flowing into here, but it isn't. And another thing that they've actually changed on purpose, though, is the fact that if you break a block, rather than it flowing into that block and then being full, it will actually just become a full block, which in my opinion looks kind of weird. It just looks off, I guess. So I'm not sure if that's something they should change back or what. It just, I don't know, it looks weird to me. They did it does seem like they fixed the natural looking transition between ocean biomes, because last snapshot they were so far away from each other that you could almost never find more than 1 or 2 biomes of ocean in the entire world. So that's something that they fixed, which is good, because like last snapshot I could not find any other biomes other than regular ocean biomes for the life of me, so that's great. Another change is that mining coral blocks now requires silk touch. So if you decide to mine a coral block, you're gonna have to have like silk touch on something in order for you to actually harvest it from a coral ocean biome. So they did change something about the conduit, and something that I didn't even notice in last week's snapshot was that if you place a specific amount of prismarine bricks, it's I don't know, all you have to really do is make a ring around it. It will actually start doing this really like cool looking weird like animation thing. And something you can actually do is craft the conduit by surrounding a heart of the sea by those nautilus shells or whatever they're called in a crafting table, and you'll actually get the conduit. And if you place it down and then surround it by enough prismarine bricks, or prismarine in general I think is pretty much all you need, it will actually start doing this really cool looking animation. And they actually changed the particles that excuse me, and they actually changed the particles that appear around it in this week's snapshot. So it's actually a really, really cool looking thing. And what happens is it will actually attack mobs that are within a certain radius of it. So if I summon in a drowned here, you'll see that it should start damaging it, I think. So I'm not seeing any change here. I thought it would attack mobs. I guess I could be wrong. Yeah, I honestly don't fully know how this works still. That's something that I'm having trouble understanding. I'm sure I'll explain it more in depth if I get more information. And there's also a couple technical changes, like there's now a distinction between scheduled liquid ticks and block ticks, which I guess there's a difference between like how often flowing water updates and how often block updates happen. And I'm sure you can find some interesting stuff there for any of those who are interested, or I'm sure there's other videos already out at this point that are explaining stuff like that. So other than that, there's of course tons of bug fixes that you guys can go through if you want to look through it in the changelog. But yeah, I think that'll be about it for this week's snapshot video. If you guys enjoyed it, maybe leave a like on the video or leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more snapshot videos and just stuff like this, then maybe subscribe. But other than that, guys, I again hope you guys enjoyed. This is a really weirdly generated wrecked ship, and I think I'll leave you off with that. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see ya.